want you to think of somebody who's going to try to make this team as a player, which indicated to Jim and indicates to me that Davis would like to have Jim Furyk on this team. But having said that, to the new blood question, right now, all the guys in the top 8 have played in the Ryder Cup for the United States.
Who's the new blood?
You add Fowler, you add Reed, you add Furyk to that 8, if it were this 8, then you would have 11 guys who've all been on previous Ryder Cups. Brooks Koepka, is a long hitter. I think he'd Berger. Yeah, Berger's been hurt. Koepka's been hurt. So I think Davis needs to think about at least 1, if not 2 spots for guys who don't have that scar tissue that Nota's talking about.
Give me a name, Nota. I mean, if until Berger and Koepka can show they're healthy, you almost can't even put them in the conversation. We don't know if they're
here's the thing
healthy.
that they have going for them is the deadline has been pushed a lot further back than it has in history. And there's one single pick that's being left till after the Tour Championship, and there will be 2 or 3 players that will have to go to the Tour Championship with their bags already packed for the Ryder Cup. So they will know that they were one of a handful of people that are in that final selection pool of players. But I think that Reed's on the outside looking in right now. He's definitely going to be on the team if he doesn't make it.
Ricky Fowler.
Fowler's on the outside looking in. I think that you look at younger players like a Berger, PGA Tour Rookie of the Year, only rookie to make it to the Tour Championship last year, comes through with his first breakthrough win. So you're looking at a young player that hits it long, can handle the pressure, comes from an athletic family, and is trending in the right direction. Now, can he overcome these injuries, prove himself to be back into top form in the next few weeks to warrant a serious look from the captain? And nonetheless, are you going to put players in Mickelson and Furyk, and if Tiger were in the equation, which he's not, but those were the 3 central figures that have kind of been consistent on the last 6 or 7 teams. But you look at Furyk's record, losing record in foursomes, losing record in 4-ball, losing more than 50% of his matches. I don't know that you can put a player like that on a team unless they warrant themselves playing well to deserve a pick.
Those 3 guys have played 26 Ryder Cups combined. Mickelson, Furyk, Tiger Woods. I'll throw a dark horse at you.
Yeah.
And he'd be a rookie, but he's a veteran too. Charlie Hoffman, who's played well this year. He's 17th on the list. He probably would need to move up for Davis to pick him. But during a conversation I had with Davis, he brought Charlie Hoffman up out of the blue. So he's there in his mind as a guy who would bring experience to the team and be a rookie without that scar tissue, and also a guy who very, very much wants to play a Ryder Cup before his career's done.
Interesting. He talked about that Tom Lehman, and Tiger Woods would be the guys that got together because Phil is not going to be a vice captain. He's on the team.
Stricker's in the mix too. So
of course, Jim Furyk, 7 cuts made in 9 starts since returning from that injury. The highlight for Furyk is obviously a great final round at Oakmont and a tie for 2nd at the U.S. Open. Let's continue with what is the highlight of this Tuesday here at the PGA Championship, and that is the long drive competition. Jordan Spieth trying to correct that driver, be a better ball striker, and give himself a chance on the greens this week at Baltusrol. And Spieth blasting one down the middle, 314 yards.
And that's his shot right there. If you see Jordan Spieth hitting anywhere from 65 to 70% of his fairways this week, around that same number, greens in regulation, you're going to see a different Jordan Spieth at the top of the leaderboard.
And for the moment, Spieth had the long drive of the day until this, McIlroy unleashing a drive of 3, 4, 5.
I think that one burst showed up on the Doppler radar because that thing was hammered. And I think that with the softer conditions, and we talk about this, they got a ton of rain last night. Don't know if the course is going to dry out, but whenever it gets a little soft, fairways are more receptive. It does feed to a player like Rory McIlroy.
And he's played his best in majors under soft conditions in the past.
For entertainment purposes only, my selection this week on GolfChannelFantasy.com is this guy, Sergio Garcia.
The odds are in your favor.
Never.
Based on the past.
What, you're saying he's due?
He's due, yeah. He's been due since 1999.
Never a bad pick. And determined, 319 from Garcia.
It's just remarkable how well Sergio has held up over the years. He just went through a small window where he struggled for a little bit, seemed to be lacking motivation, but looks great now.
Willie McGirt, a winner this year, showing that he's got a little extra in the bag. Note a 3, 2, 5.
My goodness, Will McGirt. digging it out of the dirt. Big guy, 325.
One last point on Sergio. You're talking about his consistency through the years. If he makes that 7-footer at Carnoustie, he's a no-brainer Hall of Famer. That's how good his career has been, minus that one moment.
And to Ryder Cup points, he's been a stalwart for the Europeans on the European team. This is Brandon Stone, the South African, as he's throwing a hooker in there, and it's going to find the fairway.
And long, mind you, gets a little forward kick off that hill.
I think he knew he was short of Rory,
30 yards,
but that he really poked it out there.
And second place for Brandon Stone, 334. We're now on the tee live with Nicholas Colsaerts, who certainly has the ability to get it out there with anyone.
And Nicholas has seen a resurgence in his game in the last couple months. Former Ryder Cup team member, fell into a severe slump, but always one of the longest hitters on the European Tour.
Oh,
big,
boy.
Tall guy.
What do we have here? What do we have here, Noda?
Go. Good. Get back there. Get back there.
345's the number, the Belgian bomber.
That's in the fairway, so it counts.
He's looking forward to representing his country in the Olympics, both him and Thomas Pieters. And
the number is 3, 4,
9.
1.
Oh, man.
4 yards shy.
He's the Phil Mickelson of the long drive contest.
So Colsaerts moves to second, 4 yards shy of McIlroy's 345, and we continue live now with Lee Westwood.
This will not go 341.
And Westy's kind of in the same kind of category as Jordan Spieth, where you're not going to pin him as one of the longer hitters on the tour, but he will definitely surprise you, get the adrenaline going. He hits one on the screws, and he can just pump it out there well over 300.
And here's a guy who right now is not in the top 9 on the European Ryder Cup list. They take 9 off of 2 different lists total, but he is a lock captain's pick. The way Fowler and Reed are lock captain's picks on the U.S. team.
Westwood?
Westwood, absolutely, yes. Colsaerts has played in the Ryder Cup in the past, but Westwood has been right up there with Colin Montgomery and Nick Faldo as a great Ryder Cup player. In fact, he has a chance this year to become the all-time points leader in the Ryder Cup. He's at 23.5. Faldo's got 25 as the all-time points leader.
310 for Lee Westwood. We know the European team will have a different look. No Ian Poulter, out with injury this year. No